Most people plan their week like firefighters, reacting to whatever screams the loudest. That's why they stay busy but never in full control. Today, we're going to be looking at how to outline a very simple weekly planning routine that will help you to actually push your goals forward without burning out, rushing, or waking up anxious on Monday. So, let's begin. It's important to note that today's workplace is very noisy. Constant Slack pings, urgent emails, shifting priorities, unrealistic timelines, and so on and so forth. But it's important to know that planning is not about control, it's about clarity. Clarity meaning what matters versus what is noise. You need to be able to control what you spend your energy on. It's not about squeezing more tasks in or being able to do more than you usually used to do, but about how to plan intentionally. Because unfortunately, most people plan reactively. They react to their environment and they confuse the fact that chaos does not equal productivity. A calm, structured way is a leadership advantage. So, why does planning matter? Weekly planning matters for a few psychological reasons. The first one is that it reduces decision fatigue by up to 60%. Next is that it increases follow through and reduces anxiety. You're able to plan better and more able to follow through with your decisions when you are calm and intentional rather than just reacting to a usual environment. And three, it stops you from living in urgency mode. There are certain people that are always anxious, they are always wired, they are always on edge because they feel like every little thing needs to be completely and utterly in control before they have a breath of fresh air. And if any of those people ever come in contact with a change of environment or a change of situation, they tend to crash out. 74% of stressed professionals report poor planning habits, according to Deloitte in 2024. Because of course they will have poor planning habits. They are not able to manage their time properly and able to monitor what exactly their tasks and decisions are. So, here are a few common planning mistakes. The first one is planning for perfection instead of reality. There is no such thing as a perfect plan. It doesn't exist. Every plan requires adjustment. Every plan requires shifting. And every plan needs to be amended as a regular basis. So you don't plan for perfect, you plan for reality. The next common planning fail is that you overload one week with a year's worth of goals. There are certain things that can only be limited to a single week. As much as possible, don't take on too much. Some people feel like, oh, I have so much quote unquote time, so I'm meant to do as much as I possibly can. No, you don't want to overload your single week. You have a few hours every day. Take it slow and take it carefully. Second one is that they don't have any space in their brain for the unexpected. The reality of life is that it changes in a rapid state. Life can easily just switch and things happen without any without any warning labels, without any amount of control in your hands. It just comes up. And so you need to have those periods in your week where you are able to plan for the unexpected. What if so and so happens? Now, I said plan, not anxiously await. So, reflect on your decision before you execute is also very important because you want to understand what you are doing before you go ahead and do it. Now, here is a 5 step weekly routine. The first one is brain dump. Get everything out of your head. The second one is how to prioritize, choose what actually matters this week. What do you actually want to achieve during the week? The third, time block. And of course, you have to, for time blocking, assign a home for each task. Time blocking will mean in 24 hours, maybe you assign 3 hours, so and so for each particular task you have in mind. And it's also very important that you know what you are actually trying to plan for. You need to know what the actual plan is before you can assign a time to it. And of course, as we said earlier, reserve shock absorber spaces. Have those moments in time where where you tell yourself, if this and this or this happens, I have a buffer, I have a boundary I've set, so it doesn't rock my whole plan, doesn't rock me completely. I can still be able to, at the very least, have some modicum of control if the unexpected happens. Now, here's a rule I'm going to be giving you for this video. It's called the 2 hour rule. And the 2 hour rule basically means don't plan your whole life, plan your energy. Identify your two peak focus hours per day. Everybody has those 2 hours. At the very minimum, it's 2 hours in a particular day where you can be sure this is your peak focus moment. These are the moments where you're able to lock in and get things done. So once you're able to identify those two peak hours every single day, you want to put the most important work inside that window. In other words, in those 2 hours where you are very confident that this is the peak of my focus every single day. The most important thing you have on your plate, put it in those hours and protect it like a meeting with your future self because things will happen. Anything comes up and you are left stranded. But it's important to protect those hours because that's where you're most productive. Now, you also want to, in this section, stress proof your whole week. Now, schedule one no meeting day or block. Add a 15-minute daily reset window. Pre-plan rest and recover like tasks. Because rest is not a reward, it's fuel. It's important to note all these steps because it's very important to stress proof your week. You need to know how much energy you are draining from yourself, what you need to change, what is working for you, and perhaps there are certain moments where you feel, oh, I am getting burnt out. It's important to have a reset window. Add a 15-minute daily reset window where you say, for this 15 minutes at the minimum, you're doing absolutely nothing. I'm going to organize my week. In these minutes, I'm going to see what's working for me and what is not, and adjust accordingly. Now, you don't need a perfect week to change your life. You need intentional weeks repeated. Intentional weeks, need them repeated. If you do this routine every Sunday or Monday, your work stops being reactive and starts becoming strategic. So let me know in the comments below. Do you currently plan weekly or daily? And if you want help designing a personal growth plan that's sustainable, not toxic or hustle bodies, the link is in the bio. And if this helped you, please subscribe for more. And I'll see you all in the next video.
Okay, let's go.